In a small, secluded village nestled deep within the jagged, snow-capped peaks of the mountains, life followed a simple, ancient rhythm. Every evening brought peace, until the day 10-year-old Ali led his goats toward the edge of the Black Forest, a place the elders whispered was cursed, where the trees themselves seemed to breathe and the ground shifted beneath your feet. The old men often warned that once you enter the heart of those woods, the path behind you simply disappears. The sun began to dip below the horizon, painting the sky in blood-red and bruised purple hues. A place the elders whispered was cursed, where the trees themselves seemed to breathe and the ground shifted beneath your feet. The old men often warned that once you enter the heart of those woods, the path behind you simply disappears. The sun began to dip below the horizon, painting the sky in blood-red and bruised purple hues. The birds stopped singing, replaced by an unnatural, heavy silence that felt like a weight on the chest. But Ali did not return. As the first cold stars appeared, a mother's heart sank with dread, and a father's hands trembled with a fear he couldn't name. The village bell rang, but only the wind answered. The village men gathered their courage, clutching wooden staffs and flickering kerosene torches that struggled against the rising mist. As they crossed the invisible boundary into the deep woods, the air turned bitter and freezing. A foul stench of decay hung in the fog, choking their breath and stinging their eyes. The silence of the forest was so absolute that the thud of their own boots felt like hammers pounding against their skulls. Suddenly, a piercing, soul-shattering scream ripped through the dark canopy. It wasn't a human cry. It was a sound of pure, ancient hunger, a sound that hadn't been heard in these mountains for a century. From behind the gnarled, twisting trunks of the pines, two glowing red eyes stared back at them, unblinking and full of hate. This was no animal. It was a shadow, more solid than a ghost. With lightning speed, the creature lunged. Two men at the front vanished into the darkness. The rest broke into a frantic run, their torches falling and extinguishing in the damp, rotting moss. The forest was swallowed by shadows once more, leaving only the sound of heavy, monstrous breathing behind them. Morning fell upon the village like a heavy, suffocating shroud. Every door was double-bolted, and every window was barred with iron. But just as hope was turning to cold ash, a figure appeared at the village gate under the pale moonlight. It was Farouk, a legendary professional hunter who had looked into the eyes of death 1,000 times and never blinked. He didn't speak a word. He didn't offer empty comfort. He simply shouldered his heavy, custom-built bolt-action rifle, checked. He knew that today, either he would return with the boy, or the forest would claim another soul forever. Farouk moved with the silent precision of a predator stalking its prey. He knew the language of the rustling leaves and the shifting shadows. In the deepest, darkest hours of the night, he discovered a hidden, moss-covered cave tucked behind a wall of thorns. From within the damp, freezing stone walls, a faint, rhythmic sobbing reached his ears. It was Ali, terrified and broken waves. Without a second's hesitation, Farouk raised his rifle and squeezed the trigger. A thunderous roar shattered the mountain's silence, echoing for miles across the valley. The silver bullet tore through the creature's chest, glowing with a holy light. A final, agonizing shriek erupted, loud enough to wake the dead, before the beast collapsed and dissolved into a pile of black, oily soot. He broke the lock with a single blow and pulled the boy into a protective, warm embrace as the first golden light of dawn touched the mountain peaks.